my transition took an entirely new turn. The curious thing is prior to Miami, I had been in New York City with a very dear old friend who knew what was going on with me. And back in New York, 2 months before the show in Miami, he said, "Why don't you go try on some women's clothing in one of the clothing stores?" And I was like, "I don't think I can do that." He goes, "Why not? You don't know anyone here. What's going to happen?" So I remember going into a store, picking out some women's tops, walking over to the dressing room, and not unlike when I went to buy makeup, I was terrified. I had this fear that I would walk up to the dressing room attendant, which was a young woman, and that she would look at me and say, "You can't try those clothes on, those are women's." Well, that would never happen, at least not in New York City. I don't know if it would happen in any city, but that was my first attempt at going through one of the challenges of transitioning. I'm an artist, I'm a painter, and my daughter sent me an entry for a transgender arts festival in Miami, an open entry show, and I submitted work and was selected as a featured artist at one of the venues for this art festival called Trans Art Miami. I was preparing to travel down to Miami for the opening of the show, and one of my female friends said to me, "Would you like to borrow a few of my women's tops to wear at the opening of your show?" And when I went to the show, I dressed very feminine and wore the tops. And it was not until I came back from the show 5 days later and I was washing the clothes to return to this woman when the epiphany, the light bulb went off. And I said to myself, "Oh my God, why are you borrowing women's clothes, number one? And number two, why do you have a wardrobe of men's clothing that you're wearing every day?" And I started going out buying female tops. I transitioned to women's jeans, no longer wearing men's jeans. I started building a wardrobe, mostly from thrift stores. I would go into thrift stores and go through and find inexpensive clothes to start building a wardrobe with. And I'd occasionally buy some clothes at consignment stores and every once in a while new clothing. I produced a series of videos in the hopes that my story might help someone else with their story. I transitioned at a much later point in life than many do, and I'm just so grateful that I was able to find my true self while I still had time in this life to live out my life as who I really am. So I thank you for taking the time to watch my story, and I hope my story will help to inspire others to pursue their dream in life. Thank you very much.